Hello, this is High Templar with my new Total War Warhammer DLC analysis video, and today we finally get Grombrindal. So like I said yesterday, there was a slip on a Twitch stream, and those guys showed us that this is available, downloadable content basically, Grombrindal, and I said that might be intentional, and we might see some promotional material in the next 48 hours, and surely we got it. So let's just review that. There is some controversies with it. Some people say it's overpowered. There is some problems with getting it. You will have to jump through some hoops. But all in all, I'm very excited to see this guy. He didn't come out exactly as I would envision him, but still, well, let's just see that. Let's just see that trailer and let's just jump into the game and see him and analyze the hell out of him.
Sega.
As every beardling knows, there are tales reaching back to the times of legend which tell of Grombrindal, the enigmatic White Dwarf. Appearing on the brink of a great battle, he hurls himself into the maelstrom to assure dwarfen victory, before disappearing as mysteriously as he arrived. Some proclaim him the spirit of Snorri Whitebeard, the last dwarf high king before the cataclysmic War of the Beard, which sundered relations between the elves and the dwarfs. Others maintain he is the betrothed of VALAYA, the dwarf goddess of HELM clan, and that she has blessed him with her protective favor. The truth about Grombrindal may never be established. One thing is certain, however. He is like a force of nature on the battlefield, and embodies the unbreakable fighting spirit of the dwarfs as he leads his kin to victories that will echo down the ages.
Yeah, so that was a very nice layout of the lore about him. We don't really know who he is. So that's a strange pick for a legendary lord, but on the one hand, but on the other hand, he's awesome. He's enigmatic. We don't know who he really is. He might be a ghost of the king. And in tabletop, he is ethereal. Basically, in the Total War Warhammer, that is very powerful, and I thought he will be like that. And I saw this Ethereal Heroes for the Ungrim clan. I was sure this is sure sign those guys are working on the White Dwarf. However, it seems that they went with normal one from what I see about him. And yeah, there is nothing on the stats that would suggest he's ethereal. He's also using the two-handed weapon, so he will be doing a lot of armor-piercing damage. And that is very nice indeed. Let's just see that trailer to its end. Alright, that was very cool animation, I'm sold. So yeah, this is pretty much it. That's a very short teaser trailer. But obviously this is not everything we know about him. We already can see him in a game. So yeah, behold, you probably already seen him because you went there. And you probably see this claim-free content and you've probably read about it already, but if you have a problem with claiming this free content, be aware that it's not actually that easy. So this guy will be available if you buy the White Dwarf magazine. This is official Games Workshop magazine, and he will be available since the 22nd. And if you won't get it through the magazine, you can get it on the 28th if you go to official Game Workshop shop and ask the employee for the free Steam key. So yeah, we can get him for free if you have the official Game Workshop. Now I live in a big city, but I don't have one. Not official one, so I probably won't be able to get him. Well, that being said, he does look great, and he has Iron Drakes, minus with blasting charges and gyrocopters, which is not as great, because this guy is actually getting hammerers and grudge thrower. I would say it's better on the longbeards and thunderers and slayers. But yeah, now he can call upon the power of the ancestor gods, and this might be something very powerful. We don't know it yet, or I haven't found it if there is something like that. He has evasion chance of when using other way plus 40% for all characters. That is like everybody, every army. That's huge. And he has reinforcements range plus 30% for his own army, which is also very nice. He's a powerful melee fighter and leader, and he has battle ability Grombrindal has no fear, which probably makes your guys unbreakable. So some people say that this guy is actually overpowered, and I want to show you why, and I also want to show you why I do not agree with this statement. So let's make a comparison between Grombrindal and Thorgrim Grudgebearer. So firstly, we can read all about those effects that they have in the campaigns, but we already seen that. However, you must keep in mind that minus 10% upkeep for longbeards and hammerers is huge, because those are the units that you should have most of in your armies. It wouldn't be bad if that would be like 90% of what you have. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. However, you might argue that those also are, and we don't know what the ancestor gods are doing, so let's just skip that and compare the skills themselves. So, Inspiring Presence, Lord of the Deeps, Axe Lord, Tactician, and Obsistancy are in the both lords, but the Thorgrim have Rally, and the White Dwarf have Mighty Barret of Defense. Let's see what's that all about. So this is only for defending army, and this is armor piercing bonus plus 10 and melee defense plus 15 for all units. And that is quite insane, but this is only working when you are being attacked. But plus 10 flat armor piercing bonus, like you have your Longbeards, which their weapon strength is pretty low and their armor piercing is even lower, and you have plus 10 armor piercing bonus? Insane! And plus 15 melee defense? Well, you can say that this is not doing anything because Longbeards already have such a high defense, and not to mention like Ironbreakers, that you're just not using it. Well, you are using it when your guys are tired. And you can use it because when the other guys will be tired, your guys will still have plus 10, just 10% to be hit, which is cap. You cannot have hit chance lesser than 10%. But anyhow, your people will be hitting their people much more often, and your guys will be just like standing there and not being hit at all. So this is still very useful, and this is insane. But this is only working when you are actually being attacked, and the way I play the game, I'm not being attacked that much. But yeah, that might be very useful indeed, either way. So then we have Brasslang's Grimnir's Heirs, Thunderer, Wopa Wopa, or however you pronounce that, and Stand Your Ground, whereas White Dwarf has Splash Bomb, which I assume is similar to what Skullcrawlers have, but maybe not, we will see. Interesting, either way, I would like to see that in action. Then very interesting indeed. So these are blue skills for the Thorgrim, and he has Root Marcher, whereas this guy doesn't. He has Legendary Commerce. And if you look into the Legendary Commerce, this is income from trade plus 20%, which is not really the White Dwarf thing, but is appreciated either way. But Root Marcher is very powerful, and also no Minor Instinct and no Wall Breaker for this guy. And let's just see what skills he does have in the blue tree. So those are one for the Thorgrim, And as you can see, only Lightning Strike is the same. Those guys have Ancient ACUMEN, which is actually unit experience for all recruits faction-wide +3. And that is pretty huge. You can really use it. I would like to have that, I mean like crazy. And then we have Eager Keen, which is recruitment cost -15%, which is like, yeah, okay, fine. I can get some more money. I'm swimming in money most of the cases, but I can have some more. Then we have Absolutely Relentless, and if you notice that this is the same icon as Route Marcher, so what does Absolutely Relentless do? This is actually campaign movement range +10%, +5, 10, and +15% for all characters. That is pretty huge. You can have this, and for your other lores can still keep Route Marcher to the total bonus of +25%. Huge. Very, very interesting indeed. But truth be told, sorry about that, you aren't getting those other skills that we have here, like Pure Bird and Wall Breaker and so on and so forth. Then we have, on the one hand, we have Inspirational Leader for Thorgrim, which gives +15% bonus for replenishment. This guy has Get Up, and the Get Up does +6% replenishment for all characters again. Again, pretty huge, but his army will be slightly weaker, but the other armies will be much stronger. So very nice indeed. And then we have the White Dwarf Call, which is actually global recruitment capacity +1, so pretty much crap. Sorry. Then we have Full Plate Armor, Resolute, Hard to Hit, Scarred Veteran, Ancestral Grudge, and Foe Seeker, which you will obviously see also here. For the attack skills we have Woundmaker, Blade Master, Blade Shield, same. We have Relentless for Thorgrim, and also for the Grombrindal. So this is giving additional speed for both of those guys. And Deadly Onslaught, this is all the same. Now the White Dwarf has access to some basically more artifacts than the High King himself. But let's just compare them. Let's compare armor to armor. So for this armor we are getting +12 armor, +6 defense, ward save of 15, and wound recovery time -1. If you compare that to Grombrindal armor, it's actually only giving +8 armor and physical resistance of 10. Physical, not ward save. So much less powerful. Rune X of Grombrindal, +13 armor piercing damage and +10 melee attack, post-loot battle recruitment cost and upkeep. Right? Very cool. But we have the same for Accent of Grimmery, which is armor piercing 12, yeah, I know, less. Then we have bonus versus large, melee attack less, I know. Recruitment cost -10, upkeep minus, post-loot battle, pretty much the same story. Then we have a crown for the Thorgrim. And for Grombrindal, we have cloak, which is, as you can see, I would rather have crown, public order, unit experience, immune to psychology, melee defense and melee attack, whereas this guy has magic resistance and reduced chaos corruption. Yeah, that's nice, don't get me wrong, but I still like this guy slightly better. I mean slightly, this is not huge, this is not as powerful as with this armor, which is pretty crappy. And then we have Rune Helm, which is giving Rune Helm of ZHUFBAR, which we don't know what really that does. And then we have Time of the Ancestor, which is giving Living Ancestor event -10 turns, which is, like I said, might be very powerful. However, Great Book of Grudges, not only giving you minus 5% upkeep for all units, but also passive ability Great Book of Grudges, which I know you know it's absolutely massive. Absolutely freaking massive. But yes, again, only for his army and his alone. He is a High King, so this is another cool ability. Yeah, and Rune of Brimir, those guys both have it. So all in all, I'd say Team Thorgrim. Grombrindal is not overpowered in my opinion. He has some very nice skill that works faction-wide, but with some bonuses that the Thorgrim have, like plus 10% for the research and this more powerful armor and these bonuses plus those bonuses from the High King, and then yeah, those are just very, very powerful abilities that works very well for the dwarves. And like I said, I'm just not sure which one is better. I would be playing Grombrindal just because he's a new lord and I really like the lore for him. And he's harder to play, in my opinion. But the stronger one I would pick